Alright guys, welcome back to another little layout update. This is going to be for June 2020. We've got a little bit of equipment and locomotive progress and some decent progress on this mine layout and fixing up one of the sections I'm going to keep. So as always, let's jump right on into it. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So go ahead and go over some locomotive and rolling stock stuff first. We'll start off with this. Actually just came in the mail today. We were on the way to head to church. Dad checked the mail real quick and this was in there. So went ahead and ordered a package from Charlie. So yes, it's cut, so I have already looked, but I figured I'd show you all what's in here. So we've got a Tsunami 2 21 pin. Yeah, come on fingers. 21 pin EMD decoder. I'm looking forward to using this thing. This is going to be, I love it. This is going in the Bachmann GT7 that after like 4 months of the parts sitting around, I finally got the trucks back together, finished modding the pickups so they pick up, direct outside frames like Atlas does and Kato. Mod that, got it done, and it's ready for the DCC. So all I gotta do is get the motherboard. I'm gonna use a TCS with this because to make a kit for Bachmann Plus F units, and I'm just using Soundtrack's 21 pin instead of the TCS. And this is a sound decoder. So to go along with that, we also have a sugar cube. I tell you, I'm looking forward to both of these. I've been hearing about it, and this is the first real chance I've had to, get a hold of those. So, and try one of them. The plan is to start using just the motherboards and whatnot from now on. So that, and then to finish it all off, you can see I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs of ear mount 33-inch wheel sets, and there's, how many in a bag? Yeah, there's 10 to a bag, so I got 60 wheel sets. So, that's, well, okay. It's enough to do good on cars. I'm having a brain fart. I can't even do math today. Wow. Yeah, it's right. 54, 8. It's 52 cars. So 52. Yeah, whatever. It's a lot of cars. Geez, sorry people. I can't do math. Wow. Okay. But no, that's is much needed. I think I'm down to all the cars that are ready to plop on and go, aka regular service ones. Like the only cars that have plastic wheel sets are the log flats. So, and then obviously the rest of them that still have plastic wheels are ones that they need worked on anyway, so I'm not counting them as part of the ready to go. They're ones that need coupler boxes and body mount couplers and KDs into the wheel set. So, but anyways, I should be able to get to a few of those and get the log flats converted. So glad to have those. That's pretty much going to do it for ordering for now. I may have picked up me a lot of 6 Pico Code A3 number 5s and 2 Walthers number 5s for $80 if the other on one of the Facebook swap groups. Somebody else is interested. So if it falls through, I told the guy I'd take it. If it doesn't, oh well, I'll keep looking. But if it does come through, I've got probably all the turnouts I'm going to need for the yard on the new design. But anyways, moving on, just to point out real quick, a couple of things I've done. I've seen this before. This is another good old blue box ACL. This has been, started working on weathering this. The build date on this thing is, it's like really new. Yeah, built. You can barely read that, but it's something 45, 43, 542, maybe even 545. So this wouldn't have been, not but 9 years old in 1954. So I'm kind of going light on the weathering. I don't know how well you can tell that, but I put some gray on the roof, and then the whole car's gotten a coat of India ink. So done that. I'm working on the floor and just, working on that. So locomotive projects, not any of my stuff today. I've got these two that I got to get out of the way. These are for the museum, and then I've got Will's Bachmann Plus U-boat to do, and I've got Bryson's old lifelike E8 that is going to need a total gut job. New motor, new drive system, drivetrain, everything. So get those 4 out of the yard, and then I'm going to turn my attention to a couple steam engines. But anyways, for this one, Blue Box GP382, Union Pacific 2056. There's the sticker for the museum. The truck side frames are all in the parts. The handrails are off. But what I have done is I've went ahead and gotten in here, and both sides of the motor have been covered in liquid electrical tape. On the bottom, those 2 little prongs have been snipped and been grounded off. And then the motor, the truck side frames have been painted. Sorry to pick up wires directly to it. I've cleaned off and polished the wheels. And the trucks have been completely disassembled, made sure there's no burrs, and then they've had a fresh oil and lube job. So, and interesting, this is the later blue box. So a lot of people don't know this, but at the very, very end of the blue box, just before they were discontinued, they changed a couple things. They went to these tabs, but also they did it to where, see if I can do this one-handed. Okay, maybe I can't. Damn, things on there. Anyways, they went to where, and you can see the square right there, that whole fuel tank where it pops out, that actually comes up. And there's a hole right there that goes into your body shell. So the concept is, okay, convert it to DCC, stick the decoder up here, run your wiring harness down. And which is a pretty neat idea, really. But they did that, and then it was literally just like about 5-6 months later, Blue Box discontinued the line. And then we didn't have anything. Well, we still don't really have anything because they discontinued it, and they basically rolled it over into the ready to run tooling and up that. So now it's got details and almost Genesis level. But so did that. I'm not done with the shell. The next step is I've got to order the leads, but I've got to start doing the, hold on. I got to get my hands where I won't be shaking the cam. I got to start doing all the plastic inserts. There is plastic in there for the windows, but I need to get some clear styrene and start cutting laminate a couple layers of it to go in the, boy, that's horrible. I need to cut and laminate 3 or 4 pieces of styrene, laminate them together, and put them in each one of the number boards there. And then my Evans Design Co. LEDs I'll use for the lights and try and get them in there. So without shining on that plastic, because I really don't want that old, whole cab glows effect like you got with the light bulb. But I did my usual treatment, so you can see where I pulled out that top motor mount, cut those tabs way, way down, because really, if you're going to do this, you don't need the tabs. Your You're bypassing the whole circuit, basically. So this will be DC only for now. Eventually we'll convert it to DC, but that's the reason I'm doing it like I've done. So it's easier to convert down the road, and I'll just solder two of the wires to the top, to the bottom there, and then the connections to the LEDs, and it's still exactly the same circuit. You're just going through the wiring instead of the frame. So that's that one. The other one I've been working on slowly. I just started. Like, I haven't really done anything with it until today when I went ahead and put liquid electrical tape. That is this one. This is another one, dummy. We got it for $8. Somebody has done Katie's on the mounts right there, which I like that, actually. That's pretty neat. But dummy, as you can tell, I went in and put the liquid electrical tape on the frame. I've got a spare motor and weight I'm going to stick in here, and then I've got some spare trucks I can use. Because if you remember, I just got those undecorated Phase 1 F7 Stewart engines with the Kato motors to replace my Blue Box F7 instead of scrounging up parts for forever and a day. So, yeah, I'll swap the trucks out, put the motor in. This will be powered, and I'll give it the same line treatment. Right now, the number boards, I would have to cut those out, and they've already put numbers on them, so I don't think I'll do that yet. Leave the marker lights. There is plastic in the headlight in there, and to my surprise, okay, I don't know if you, there. To my surprise, there is actually a light bar in the back. That was not expected, honestly. So it's a very pleasant development, nonetheless, but wasn't expected. And the other thing I like, actually, I like this a lot. The pin, that little hole right there is where that pin goes. So instead of having that big long brace and 3 holes like on the Blue Box F7s, you've got this little pin, and I love that. I mean, that fits in. I mean, on the real thing, you have a hole there anyways, just part, the machinery. So to make the button for to hold the shell on fit there, that's brilliant. I love that design a lot better than the way they did it on the F units. But, oh well, beggars can't be choosers. So that's where those two are. I've got other projects in the works, but I'm not to a point where I want to show them. So to get on to the layout, been doing a couple things in here. Obviously, the first one, as you might have been able to tell from that, is the fact that there is no more track. No more track, no more track, no more track. It's gone, 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 gone. Well, that's because we have started to tear up, and there's still some pieces. So we got most of it up. I put a lot of the old flex track right down there where it's nice and safe. We've got pilled up. And then the other thing I've been doing, and I'll pop on over here for a minute, is just turnouts. So I like this one here is one big section, and you can see all those orange things are Gap Masters and whatnot. So I'm going to go through and get all those unsoldered. That'll allow the piece of flex track to stretch out, and then while I'm at it, I'm taking all the turnouts I'm going to use, like this one, and I'm doing the mods. So back when I did not know what I was doing, I would end up doing something like this. I got way more feeders than I need. It's redundant. Really all you need is basically this frog wire and inside-outside rail. Now, this is a Pico Electro Frog, so that kind of Code 100, so that does it. But even at that, for the others, you just need the jumpers. So instead of having the whole little thing with the 4 wires and frog wire, like I've got here, I'm going to take these turnouts and go ahead and do what I started doing as my usual de facto standard, if you will. So, and that's just, you can see it here. This one is an older Walter Shinohara. It didn't have the built-in jumpers, so I went ahead and added my own. And then the result, this one, I'll only need 2 wires on the outsidemost, on the 2 outsidemost stock rails. And I butchered this one a little bit. So this had a whole bunch of extra feeders on it. I got them all taken off. So it's a lot simpler. So as far as the general plan, that's what I'm working on. I want to go ahead and get that done with turnouts some more. There's a couple big groups of track work I got to disassemble, like right over here. This was actually from the, if those of you who remember the last layout, the second staging yard, which would have been across from that one. And I never really got around to doing it. But so before I get to tearing out any of the foam and down to the wood, well, I don't have a layout to run. I just want to get this done now, because if I get it built and start doing track work, I'm, my motivation's I'm not going to get to it, not going to get to it, not going to get to it. So I figure nip that in the bud and just do it right now. So like all these joints have been soldered. I got to trim all those and get them cleaned up, and just, there's a whole nother section of track just like this out in the garage that I haven't gotten to yet. So I want to go ahead and get both of those. There's another one, just get all that done, get it out of the way, taken care of. And then the next step after that is, and well, see, here's the other thing. At one point, I thought you could solder to the bottom of the frogs on the Atlas turnouts. Well, that's not the frog. That's a jumper. So I got to do the trick of, screw through the hole there and solder to the screw trick, like I've been doing up at Nolan's. So, but get that track work done now while I've got all this place to kind of stash it and use it. And then the next layer of the plan is to go ahead and start ripping up all this foam. I got to peel up the roads. This should still be salvageable, as should that. Peel up all the cork. Get all this ballast up and saved. So get the roads, get the ballast, get the scenery up, and then I can peel this foam up, get down to the plywood. And when I do that, before I go ahead and completely disassemble this table and disassemble the frame and get the plywood off and everything else, I'm going to get down to the plywood. I'm going to take a sander and sand it all nice and smooth, dry out my track lines, and I'm going to cut this piece 4x8 and use it as a sub-row bed. Because the new layout, if you'll remember, I haven't posted that to YouTube yet. I'm working on editing the track plan reveal, people, so it will be coming. But without giving away too much, I'm going to have a stud wall, a free-floating stud wall running up the middle of this, and the sections on our side will be anchored into that. So it'll be a frame, but it'll have cross members and risers and sub-row bed. So it'll basically be traditional open grid bench work like I've got on the staging yard there. The front of it is not going to have a 1x4. That's going to be just hardboard. So I don't have to deal with, like I had here, having to cut out a big piece of 1x4 to accommodate the toggles and whatnot. It'll just be fascia on the front, and then drill through the fascia, and I'm good. I don't got the hardboard to deal with. So that's what's going on with that. And then this section right here is gone too, obviously. But not because it's going to, well, it has to be rebuilt. There's a warp in it. The boards I used had a warp, so as it came, it was starting to do that ever so slightly. So I've got the pieces out there working on fixing that. I'm going to go cut the new back for that today, because I've got an extra 2 inches of play over there. And then over here, it's going to come clear to the wall. And then we'll I'll recut the fascia, and it's going to have to pop out have a little bit of a, it's going to have to come over and then have it out and back in, because this whole staging yard entrance is going to be on a curve. But you'll see that, and I'll have a full breakdown and the wiring and everything in the track plan reveal, so be looking for that. But the last thing I've done is I've been going around, like right here, I've taken the time to add some bracing and just kind of get these legs squared up. Because eventually this whole wall, this whole rack right here, is going to be shelves. The exception being down in here, I'm going to stick to my original plan and put my laptop, and I'm going to take this fourth track here and I'm going to put one of those toggles on there so I can use as a programming track. Or maybe I'll have it, one of the tracks on here. I don't know. But this is where I'm going to put my programming center. So anyways, that's pretty much what's been going on. Oh, and obviously the underside of the layout is, it's stripped completely. There's nothing left under there. A lot of the wire I'm probably just going to check because it's got all the soldered feeder connections in it and whatnot. And just run new. But that is a little bit of ways away. Let's just say I'm saving up for a new vehicle, preferably like a Chevy 15, an older Chevy 1500 or something, so I can haul live steam stuff around and et cetera, et cetera. But so that kind of, it's like, okay, I'm going to get stuff I absolutely need right now. Anyways, but that's pretty much going to do it. I do want to close on a note that's not trains real quick. So if you don't want to listen to anything else, go ahead and flip the video. But for the rest of you, first off, the birthday of our country is coming up. And how do I put this in a way that the stupid YouTube algorithm won't censor it? Let's just say any objective looking at our country's history will reveal men who, I take the stand they were Christians, but if you don't, okay, fair enough. You at least have to admit they had an enormous respect for God. And biblical principles were imbued in our founding and our Constitution, and we aren't running on that. So remember the heritage of our country. Remember what all these men and women in uniform died for and gave up their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors for, so that we would have a country where we had the freedom to actually disagree with each other and not have to worry about the Gestapo or somebody coming in and shooting you just because you dare to speak out. And then on a side note, these idiots turn around and you yell at the police for protecting you to give you the right to yell at them in the first place. You're idiots. Whatever. That being said, enjoy the hot dogs and the cookouts and the grill outs. That's, family is awesome. The food's awesome. But don't let this be a holiday where you just do 4th of July. Take a little bit. Remember our heritage. Remember our founding. Remember that's what 4th of July is for. Not the food or the grub or the family, as important and cool as that is. It's for our heritage and our sacrifice of our servicemen and women, including the police. So, anyways, happy 4th of July to y'all. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the remembrance. Thanks for watching. This is Goose and Caboose Productions signing off. Comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.